Hey, what's up, guys? Man, fine day today. It's a pretty fine day today. Not windy, not sunny, not cold, not warm, just kind of mediocre. Yeah, so anyways, it's kind of a lazy day, late start. But anyhow, I'm standing here next to this gorgeous piece of machinery, 13, and 13's got some banged up undercarriage, and this truck was a wood hauler, and you know when you a log hauler. I know when you off-road a semi truck, you get all kinds of dings and bangs and bumps and bruises and stuff, and so I like my side fairings to look all fancy, so I'm probably going to get underneath there and manipulate, bend and fix and straighten the bracketry. There's a bracket here, there's brackets on the fuel tank, and there's a bracket back here that's pushed up. We're going to try and get that bracket off, get it straightened out, get it back on, get this squared up. Do the same thing on the other side. This truck needs fuel tanks really bad, and I'm going to take you under there, give you a peek at what I mean. But I want to get this stuff fixed up. It's going to come off anyways because I got to change the fuel tanks. This truck is almost ready to go. I took it down to my friends at JTI. It's a big trucking company here in town, and just recently became friends with them through a friend of mine. They do stuff that I don't do. I don't do front end work. I don't have the tools and equipment to do it, so I ran it down there. We're gonna get some front springs, steering box, pitman arm put on. Also, we scan the codes on this. We're gonna track down the wiring for the low coolant level. The sensor's fine, but somehow it's set in a code. We're also going to, there's one set of jakes that isn't working. We'll get that fixed as well. We'll spend a couple of G's on this thing, put some new front tires on it, get a DOT inspection, and then this truck is ready to rumble. And 12's next, but I got to get the ECM straightened out on 12. I also want to put a hood cable on this. I put a hood cable on it already, and it seemed to work fine, but it wouldn't let the hood shut. There's some geometry in there I don't really understand, some trigonometry, some calculus, a little bit of algebra, and I'm not good at any of those things. So anyways, we'll get that 10 to 2, we'll get that bumper tweaked down, we'll get these side skirts straightened out. Anyways, let's get after it. I think from this angle you can see it pretty good. This step is heaved up and it's heaved in. It's not bolted down very well up there. We're going to tend to that as well. But let me get down here and just get a gander at it. I think what we'll do is, yeah, this is this bracket here is twisted and pushed in. We're going to turn it loose, and we're going to get on it and get it squared up, get it straightened up, and you know, we'll have to pull it this way and that way and every which way. We're going to get a better fastener up there. These fuel tanks are just crushed. Man, I don't even know how this thing isn't ruptured, and it may be. I gotta look and see what's in play here and what's not. I'll get a measurement on these tanks. I think they're 28 inch. We also got a little air leak I hear up there, and we'll have to get after that. Man, oh man, these tanks are in really, really dire straits. That one over there, this one over here is smashed, but that one over there has got a huge crease in it, and it's just scary. But let's one thing at a time. We'll get this bracketry fixed, get this mess straightened up, and then yeah, and then we'll get after the rest of that stuff. I don't even know what's going on there. Is that bottom bolt broke off or something? Oh yeah, I see it. Jeez. Man. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna run this out and then I'll put a spacer up in there and run it back in. It's It's scary. These fuel tanks are scary. But I'm gonna need tanks and straps off an FLD 94 model. The transmission cooler is completely plugged up with oil and dirt. It's got a small oil leak. It doesn't drip on the ground, but it's showing evidence of a leak on the motor. We're also gonna put new front shocks on. Man, oh man, scary. Super scary. That tank is hit so hard, it's actually shoved backwards in the mounts several inches. All right. You know, one way to guarantee you get a DOT inspection is have a truck that looks like it's not well taken care of. I don't even know how this is going to work. I don't know what that is, but it's not one of these. It's reverse Torx, and I ain't even got one of those. I found a fastener that I don't own the tool for. That's crazy. I have a set of sockets that I've never even seen before, and these are snap-on. I bought them for some reason. I think they're actually like an easy out for a strip nut. They've got like a weird, they're weird. Well, they're strong enough to break that thing off. That's awesome, actually. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out of there, but a little heat and should come right off. But that at least gets me able to straighten that bracket. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of things and see if I can't twist that around a little bit, and we'll get that fitting out, or that bolt out as well. All right, so I got a couple of multi-tools here, a couple of 18-inch, one snap-on, actually both Blue Point. And I'm just going to see if I can straighten this. Really not strong. I pretty much straighten that thing with my hands. I think that's pretty straight. Let me get a look at it. Of course, I bumped it in with my shoulder. It needs to twist a little bit more. All right, so that would be sitting pretty. Let's see what it looks like. It's not too bad. I think it looks a lot better than it did. What do you guys think? Obviously that tread is a little dinged up, but I think it looks a lot better. It's not pushed in. Yeah, it's still a little pushed in. We might could. Oh, there. That's where it's supposed to be. We might can get that bolted up and then loosen up the step, or take the tread off and square it up and put it back on and make it look nicer. And this kind of droops down a little bit right here, but it's not horrible. I've seen worse. I think we get it fastened right there. It'll be nice. Let me go in. We'll what happens is these two things, they bite down. And this holds the step, and so it's just a little rusty. We'll have to heat it up, get this bowled out and polish these up, get a new fastener, and we'll be back. All right, so there it is, still smoking. I'm gonna clean this up. Nice. I don't know where. Oh, right here. All right. So I think this goes underneath that, like this. Yeah. And then this one goes above it, like this. All right, I don't think that's fit through there, nope. So the reason why they had that weird headed bolt is so that you could get on it with a socket, and I don't have that ability. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get that piece out of there. We're gonna go find a Allen head. I'll be back. I'm gonna stick it up in there. I don't think it's long enough. just a little bit off. If it was over a little bit to the right, it would be a lot easier to get it to go, but pull it out to where I think it ought to be. And just tighten her up. Normally I'd use my little crescent wrench, but it's in Fiona right now. All right, so that's nice and tight. Makes a big difference. Still going downhill kind of right here, but I'm not sure. The bottom one looks pretty good. The top one looks like it drifts down slightly, and I think it probably is because this track is bent down, but yeah, it's a lot more solid. Now we've got to get this part up here a little more solid. It's pretty crazy. And what's going to take is we're going to have to take this bolt and nut off here because it's kind of countersunk through the tread. We'll put a big fender washer on there and snug it back up. Plus underneath, the bracket on the tank is a little goofy, so we're gonna undo that nut. We're gonna put some rubber under there and then redo the nut so that it actually holds on. And we'll also shim this up a little bit because under the hood that part's broken as well. So we'll get this off and we'll get under there and get after it. And then we'll go do the other side. But I think it just looks a lot better. We might put a screw in here to pull that down. One sheet metal screw would do wonders to hold that together. It's just bowed up a little bit from whatever what ran over, bent that thing up, and it heaved that bumper a little bit, or that tread. We'll get the hood fixed up, get the steps looking good. I'll paint that front bumper and paint the frame, and then when this truck's coming down the road, DOT will be like, oh man, you know, that guy, it's not a piece of crap. He cares about his truck. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna get some, then this whole side rack's gonna come off. Maybe we should, we'll fix this step first, then we'll do the hood cable. That way the hood can be up, and we'll fix this top piece here. This is gonna take some fiberglass repair. And we want it to be right. And it starts down there. That has to be right. This has to be right. So when you go up this thing, it doesn't pull. See how it's pulling down on everything? We don't want that. We want that thing to be nice and solid. This top one's pretty solid. Could use a little snug up on this one. All right. Okay, so I got this one all square. This really needs to be screwed down, but I'm not 100% worried about that. I will probably just throw a screw in there to hold it down. Now, this was all wobbly, and now you see it's really solid. It doesn't flex. I put a piece of strap rubber behind to tighten up, because the tank is so crushed that the strap was all the way as tight as it could be on the step. But anyways, I fixed that, and then they had a screw just run through the bracket, and it was actually hanging off the bracket. So I took that out and then put it on the bracket. Now I just need, you know, the two things that I just got done fixing back there, the clamps. I just need a set of those for here. All right, so we're gonna take this top piece off. It's in dire straits, and we're going to try and do a little repair. I don't even know if I can do it, but it needs it. I doubt I'd be able to find this paint. If I could find this paint color, I would take one of those other fairings to put on here, but I don't know if I can find that color. And so we're gonna take this piece off and just get a look at what that is. Also put a hood strap on there. It's not right, but it'll work. Let's see. Yeah, this is all just rubber. Yeah, I don't even know. This rubber was just in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fit a piece underneath that, probably a piece of metal. And what I'll do is I'll trace it out on here and cut it out, and then I'll goop it up with some panel bond, and then I'll pick this fender up and put it under there where it belongs. And then once that's set on there, then I'll fill in this top piece as well. And I could see. And that would give me we can cut this piece, and then we'll cut that one. Get the basic shape, and then once we got it in there, tucked it all the way in, and then we got the outside dimension, and we'll cut this to the inside of the line, and then we'll polish this all up with the flapper disc, and then it should sit good in there. We'll double check to make sure it sits good in there, which I think it does. We got to make sure that corner is good. We might round that corner off a little bit. You know, maybe take you know, this line off, you know, so it fits good inside there. Yeah, I think we'll tuck that off. We'll take this off. We'll clean it all up, and then we'll test fit it, and then we'll super bond it, and we'll stick it up in here, and just let the weight of that hold it until that's bonded, and then we'll locate it and drill out the hole, and then we'll put a washer below it and a washer above it, and I think what we'll do is we'll also take this piece that's worn down, and maybe we'll sand it square to where it's low but square, and then once that's down, we'll start bonding fiberglass to it till it gets built up a little bit, and we'll also grind this down, and we'll build this back up as well. And that'd be a good place for us to practice fiberglass, because it really is never going to show, and it could teach me to have the confidence I need. First thing we got to do though is get this cut out, get it bonded to this. We're gonna have to roll it a little bit. Take the backwards roll out of it, get it in there and get it glued. And also what we can do is once we glue it down, we can put some pop rivets in there to hold it down, you know, and then yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine though. And once we get it cut, we'll slide it in and out of here, you know, and clean the crap out of it, all the road grime that's stuck on it. But yeah, let's get that cut. Pretty good, right? I mean, I'm pretty handy with a cutoff wheel. All right, I'll grab a flapper wheel and a new battery. So this bracket in here was kind of heaved up from, you know, bolting stuff to it, and so I'm gonna just flatten it out a little bit. You know, this doesn't hold the wheels on, so you know, you ain't gotta really, you know. And so my goal, my idea is I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna pack it with some adhesive, and I'm gonna put it under here, and I'll probably pop rivet that in a couple of spaces just while it's curing. And I'm gonna take a pen, and if I can find a pen, oh, there it is. And I'm just gonna draw this design in there, because I don't want to put any adhesive in that area, right? And then what I'll do is I'll sand this into a square down to about this level, and I'll sand this into a square, nice square, and then I'll pour resin in there and lay some cloth in, and then pour some resin and lay some cloth, and I'll build that up, you know, a couple of layers, and let that resin adhere to the, you know, it'll probably won't stick to this well, but it'll stick to this, you know. And I'll claw this up so it has something to get a hold of. And then once I get that built up, then I'll sand this whole thing, and I'll lay more cloth on there, probably 2-3 layers of cloth on there, and sand it up, and then paint it. And then I'll drill that hole through the fiberglass and through the aluminum, and we'll put that where it needs to be, probably right there. And hopefully that repair will be good. It'll be nice and solid. The idea is to make this truck look good. You know, the reason this is all beat up like that is because, well, because it was loose and flopping up against the hood. So we're going to take care of that. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, give that something to stick to, rough it up, and goop some snoop in there. I should probably take this off and sand that down in there, but we'll just clean it up. I'll use some cleaner and get it cleaned up, and we'll go from there. Pretty dirty. We're going to keep on trucking until it's not clean, or not making the rag dirty. Nice. Looks pretty good. All right, we'll clean this up. Make sure there's nothing that'll cause problems. All right, we'll get some epoxy. We're going to put the piece in, drill the holes, put the rivets. Make sure the rivets fit, and that way we're not dinking around drilling while the epoxy's setting up, making things difficult. All right, so we'll put this in, and then we'll drill some holes. Make this as close to how it was as we can. We want this to work flawlessly. We're going to put 3 rivets in. We need a 7/32 drill bit. Hopefully that rivet will fit. Hopefully I didn't screw that up and go too big. But anyways, that's the idea. If this rivet doesn't work, I'm gonna be mad, but life goes on. All right, so we're gonna mix up some JB Weld. Oh, that's cool. It may already be too late for this JB Weld. There's some there. There's some there. This is equal parts, so it should be easy enough to mix up. Peterbilt Mike says this stuff is good. So we're gonna mix up. All right, looks good. Let me get me a little mixing sticks. Ah, yeah. Can you see good? Let me bring you up a little closer. All right, so we're just gonna mix this stuff up right here. Okay, we'll mix up this stuff right here. Just mix it up and spread it out like some smooth frosting. All right, now we're going to try and get it up in there best we can. And then we'll try and find those holes. It's gonna be super hard now. Okay, there's one. There's two. There's three. Now, let's get that mess cleaned up. Use a little carb cleaner, get that sticky goo off your fingers, and pop rivet that on. Do this one. All right. Okay. What do you think, guys? I think that worked out pretty good. And I think that JB weld's gonna hold nice. And once that's done, like I said, we're gonna fiberglass this in, and then we'll drill through the fiberglass through the bracket. It's gonna be about right there, and we'll put the hood on. We'll put the hood down. We'll scoot this over where it needs to be, and then we'll put the hood back up, and I'll drill that out and go through the fiberglass and through the metal, and I think it's gonna be good. We're gonna let this JB weld set up, and we'll move on to something else. I'll show you the cable we put up there. It's not where it's supposed to be, but it's gonna be, it is what it is. It holds the hood, it's in a good spot, it allows the hood to close, and that's what's important. So just to recap, we're fixing the top of this. We've fixed the strap on the tank. These tanks need to be replaced, but we fixed the strap for now. This is where it's supposed to be. It's nice and tight. This is level, and that bracket is fixed. We are gonna screw this down. It's bowed up because that whole thing was pushed in, but we're gonna screw that down. And this side of the truck's looking pretty sparkle buggy. We'll get the other side done, but that's a bigger job. That whole thing's got to come off, and some things got to be made. That one is only this long over there, and I'd like to get the other piece and put it back on. And I think I'll when I go out to JP's, I'll get the other piece, and I got some rail from Eddie, and I'm gonna just do that whole side to be this long. I wish it was the full length, but it is what it is, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna put the battery box, no I'm not, I need to make some battery hold downs. So I think that's what we're gonna do next. Let me clean up this mess, and then we'll look at some battery hold downs. All right guys, so got a little chilly out as soon as that sun started tucking away. So for coming out here late today, I got quite a bit done. These wheels and tires are going to go on out to Whitney. I'm going to pick up a couple of wheels and a couple of new tires. For when we get the front end done on this, we'll get it aligned, and it'll have new skins. I got this bumper, started bending this back down. We're gonna get it down further where it belongs, so it looks nice and square. Hood's closing good. We need a new dinghy-do for there. Steps are solid, so that's good. Door opens and closes nice. This truck runs good. I got a couple mirrors. Let me stick a mirror on real quick. This truck looks blue in this light. But anyways, so I ordered some new mirrors. I hate mirrors that are no good. And well, I think what's going to happen is we're going to take this whole bottom bracket off, because well, just because. Come on now. All right, be right back. I don't know if that bracket will be long enough. I might have to use this bracket, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna put a new bolt in this mirror because this one is a rusty. What happens with these mirrors is the back of the mirror rusts out and then the ball don't hold it anymore. Let's see, this looks like 5/16 bolt. We'll put us a nice stainless one in. So we'll put us a washer on the top. Yeah, that's quite the stack up. Then we're going to put a washer and a nut on the bottom. I don't know if that'll do it. We might have to do some finagling. First, let's see how we're going to do this. I think we're going to do this bracket this way. And then this through here. I think that's how that's going to be right there. And so we're going to get this done first. Let's see. It's not going to leave enough. Let's see if we go this, 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 this. Probably like that. Let me see. Let me see how that other one is. The other one's kind of out further, like this. I don't know, that's just cheap looking, man. I don't really like it. Let me get in there and give it a look. I kind of like it. We'll have to play with it a little bit. I bought 4 of those mirrors, so I just don't like the way the ball is. I don't know. I don't know if I like the way the ball tensioner is, but it's better than this old rattle trap. Looks good, don't it? Can't believe I've had my tripod plugged in this whole time and didn't have the phone plugged in. But the truck's looking a lot better. I wish I had the rest of the fairings. I gotta build a battery box hold down, so I got some ideas how I'm gonna do it. I was gonna put angle iron in the front and in the back, but these Continental batteries, the post is real close to the outside, so even 1-inch angle iron or 3/4 inch angle iron would hit the positive terminal on those batteries. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do some side ones. So I need to get some threaded rod, and I need to heat it up and make a hoop and forge it out so it's narrow, or just buy some bolts. Let me see. Need to see what length those would be. I imagine they're just standard battery hold down bolts. But I'll make a measurement and I'll order some. I'll get like 10 or so because I got a bunch of trucks that need hold downs, and that way I can just do the same thing. And I'll take a angle iron, put it on the sides of the outer batteries, and I'll put 2 hold downs on it. And then if you do that, it'll just pull it off, right? So then I'll put a stud. I'll weld a stud to the top of each one, and I'll put a strap across, so when it pulls, it can't pull apart. It'll just pull straight down. And then it'll be a stud, so you can actually undo the bolts on both sides and take that crossbar off, and then drop the 2 sides out. I think it'll be fine. I'm happy with my fender. I still have to bolt it up, but it'll be good. I'm gonna start doing some of that fiberglass maybe tomorrow. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we might not do any of that. I think that's it. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you, boys.